I now call the East Line Zoning Commission regular meeting of January 21st, 2021 to order. It is 7:34 p.m., I believe. 7:32 p.m. I'm sorry, my oven is wrong. The clock on my oven. 7:32 p.m. This meeting is being held via video conference on Zoom. I'm going to start by doing a quick roll call, although Jen helped me out with that initially. I just want to identify which commissioners are present. Also, would be the time to identify interested parties that are present. Let's see. Let me start with the list of members. Obviously, myself, I am here. Terrence Donovan, if you would raise your hand, is here. Mr. Bill Dwyer is here. I see him. Kim K, I see, is here. We know that Norm Peck and Ann Thurlow, regular sitting members, are not here this evening with us. And I believe we also know, because I can see her, is Denise Markovitz is here this evening. And so Mr. Liska, Mr. McPherson, not present at this particular point in time. Still George not here? George is not here?
No, he does usually pop in at about 5 after, so.
He does, yeah, he does.
Oh, I actually have Ann coming in now.
Ann is coming in?
Yes.
Very good. All right. There she is. There she is. Hi, Ann.
Hi, Ann.
Very good. All right, we have some participating applicants that I'm now going to identify. Petri Marcu.
Petri and Ted are not here this evening.
I knew Ted wouldn't be here. I was just going to mention that. Is Dave Putnam here this evening? Director of Park and Rec. There's Dave. And then Jonathan Tunsky. Am I saying that right? Senior Landscape Architect.
Yep.
You are, yep.
Fantastic. And then we have staff, Mr. Bill Mulholland, our zoning official. I know Bill is here. Jen Lindo, of course, is here, our technical moderator. Brooke Stevens, our recording secretary. I see Brooke. Hi, Brooke. And then Roseanne Hardy, our ex officio. Is Roseanne on the line?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
okay.
her yet. Nope.
All right. So at this point, we will seat one alternate. We have one alternate that we will need to seat this evening, and that would be Denise. So Denise, you're already sitting. You don't have to move. You can just stay right where you're at. Very good. I just got to run through the guidelines of the Zoom meeting. It's a requirement that we've got to fulfill, and I'm just going to go through those as quick as I can. Number one, please remember that while unmuted, we can hear you and everything going on around you. We can also see you. Number two, board members and staff will be unmuted during the entire meeting. Three, as required by executive order, everyone must state their name and where they are from prior to speaking. For example, John Smith, board member, commission member. Harry White, if you're a member of the public, 123 Main Street, giving us your address each time they speak. During public delegations, Jennifer will open the lines for comment. Please wait to be called on to speak. Once you have finished speaking, please mute your microphone or phone. Let's see. During each agenda item, only the board, staff, and presenters will be unmuted to speak on that particular item. Number six, only one person may speak at a time. If you wish to speak, please raise your hand and wait to be called upon. Board members will be called upon to provide comment via a roll call. Number seven, members and alternates for all motions. In the interest of making sure we have a clear record, please plan on roll call votes so the public and Brooke, taking minutes, can be very clear on the record. Try to make Brooke's job as easy as we can, as difficult as a job as we know that is. So members and alternate, I just said that one. Number eight, only hosts are permitted to share screens at this time. Any documents to be shared must come through Jen at jlindo@eltownhall.com. As required by executive order, all documents being discussed and reviewed at the meeting must be posted on the town website no later than 24 hours prior to each meeting. Number nine, this entire meeting is automatically recorded by Zoom, and upon the host logging out, the meeting will cease, and so will the recording. The meeting cannot continue without the host. All right. There's all our ground rules. Moving right on to public delegations, which is item number one in tonight's meeting. Always item number one. Public delegations is time set aside for members of the public to address the commission regarding items, topics, subjects not appearing on tonight's agenda, items that do not appear on tonight's agenda. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to address the commission regarding any items, topics that do not appear on this evening's agenda?
I'm going to start. I have a person named Susan logged in. Susan, could you just unmute yourself and let us know if you're speaking during public delegation? Go ahead, Susan. Nope, I'm gonna guess not. And
Can you hear me now?
oh, I can hear you now.
Okay, thank you. I apologize. Hit the wrong button. So I don't have anything planned to say. I was just curious about a sign that was posted on Boston Post Road next to East Lyme Pizza. I didn't understand what a mixed use permit meant. So I thought I would join you guys tonight and learn a little bit about it.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
I also have Grant's iPad. If that person wishes to speak, if you could unmute yourself, just so we know if you're just observing or if you were looking to talk during public delegation. Nope, they're still muted. Nope.
Nope.
I'm gonna say go ahead because
Okay.
they're not responding. So,
Bill, did you wish to answer the first member of the public's question in regards to signage and
Mr. Chairman,
what's required of us when with a mixed
yeah,
use?
what I thought I'd do is when you announce the first item, then I would jump in at that point and just do a
Okay.
quick explanation of the sign piece of that application.
That's fine. Perfect. All right. Moving on to the public hearing segment. Please note that if you wish to speak during the public comment portion of the public hearing, you must send a message via the Zoom chat feature, to Jen. She will maintain a list of speakers for public comment. Item number 1 is the application of Theodore A. Harris, Esquire, agent for 159 Boston Post Road LLC, owner for a special permit for mixed use, CA, pursuant to section 8.2.2 and section 25 at property located at 159 Boston Post Road, East Lyme, Assessors Map 31.1, Lot 32. At the request of the applicant, this matter is being opened and continued to the next regularly scheduled zoning meeting on February 4th, 2021. Is that correct, Mr. Mulholland?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman. Just for everybody's edification, they ran into some drainage issues, and our town engineer was not satisfied with their latest rendition of drainage. So we've gone back to the drawing board. They should be able to address it, but there were some technical issues, and rather than go forward or do it piecemeal, the applicant wanted to do a complete presentation on one evening, easier for the commission and the applicant. Regarding the sign that's posted, announcing the meeting and the special permit application for mixed use, it is required by our regulations to post them. That's why there's a sign on Boston Post Road, giving the public an opportunity to be noticed and become aware, and to attend our zoning meetings if they so choose, to learn more about what we do and what these applications are about. So I anticipate this application will move forward at the next zoning meeting, which is going to be on
February 4th,
February 4th.
correct.
February 4th, Mr. Chairman. So with that said, we can move on.
Very good. Moving on to item number 2 under the public hearing segment, which is the application of Jonathan Tunsky, senior landscape architect, to design for Town of East Lyme Miracle League for the renovation of an existing play area and addition of a new bathroom storage building at 171 Boston Post Road, subject to section 5, 8, 24, and 25 of the East Lyme zoning regulations. I'll just note that the legal ad has been run. I'll note that for the record. I'll note that staff has signed off on the proposal. And at this point, we will take a presentation by the applicant, followed by any questions that any commission members might have about this ongoing project, which is a result of a lot of time and effort of a lot of people, a lot of organizations, Our town Park and Rec Director, Dave Putnam, has been very instrumental and behind the scenes in making this thing a go, and it's just an incredible project. I'll just say that for openers, but with that, I don't want to taint anybody or tip my hand as to how I feel about it. I'm excited about it. But let's hear the presentation from the applicant, and then we'll go with any questions the commission might have. Thanks.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So my name's John Tunsky. I'm a landscape architect with 2 Design LLC. We're at 114 West Main Street. That's New Britain, Connecticut. Jen, is it possible to show that rendering now, please?
Hold on just a sec. Where's my share? There we go. If you need me to make it bigger or smaller, just let me know.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so just a little bit about the Miracle League. So the Miracle League of Connecticut provides opportunities for children and with physical and cognitive challenges to participate in recreation, educational, and cultural activities. This past summer, construction was completed on the first phase of our master plan, which included improvements to the field, which you'll see on the left side of your screen. It's the baseball diamond there. This project was approved by this commission approximately 2 years ago now. And at that time, we did show you our intent for the master plan being phase 2 and 3. So phase 2 and 3 are combined into one now. So as part of phase 2, we'll be renovating the existing play area. And this will include new equipment, a pavilion, poured in place rubber surfacing, concrete walks, picnic tables, a plaza area. And then towards the left of that brown rectangle that you see with the gable roof, that's going to be a small building about 20 feet by 23, which will be erected, and that includes 3 family restrooms and a small storage area, which can be used to sell snacks and beverages during events. As part of this project, 9 trees will be planted to provide shade, play area, and screen for the small building. Parking will be shared with the school, which now has 620 parking spaces. As part of phase 1, we provided 3 handicap parking spaces. And events occur during off-school hours, April through October. No lighting will be provided as part of this project. And Jen, is the other PDF available? Just so I could show the building elevations
Hang on.
of the set of plans we submitted. If you could just go to the last page.
It's not in this set.
Oh, it would be the original set.
The original?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Last page?
Yep, should be the very last page.
There we go.
That looks like. So here's just some elevation, 3D perspective of what that building, the restroom and storage building will look like. So the Miracle League Phase 2 will be a great addition to town and serve Connecticut's children with physical and cognitive challenges for years to come. And as was mentioned, Dave Putnam is here to answer any program questions, and I can answer any questions about the design. And with that, I conclude my presentation.
Thank you. Thank you. Questions from the commission? Mr. Dwyer, were you starting to ask something?
Yes. Now, I just want to be clear. Parks and Rec has nothing to do with this. Is that correct?
I'll let Mr. Putnam answer that.
Well, right, and so the fundraising part of it is done by the Miracle League of Southeastern Connecticut.
Right.
And then once that's completed, it is, like, the field itself was then donated to the town by the Miracle League, and then we do maintenance up there and that kind of thing, but not a whole lot, because it is a turf surface. So, I hope that answers your question.
Well, it's not, town money is not involved.
Right, that is correct. The construction of it is correct, is all privately raised. You are correct.
Okay.
It's
Chairman?
been an incredible fundraising effort that's been going on, I think, all the way back since, what, 2016, 17, Dave? It's been pretty,
Yeah, we started in November of 2017. We're up
Wow.
around $650,000 we've raised to date for this, and we're going to need approximately another $400,000 to complete phase 2.
unreal, phenomenal. So many businesses, organizations donated, and you really spearheaded this thing. So to bring it to fruition, just an incredible job. I've been back there, and I can't wait to see it fully completed.
Thank you.
Questions from the commission? How about what type of trees? That's often on the minds of our zoning commission when it comes to trees. What kind of trees are you looking at in terms of for the canopy there? More of a curiosity question than anything.
Yep, just bear with me 1 second.
Sure.
We do a lot of planting plans, so.
But there is Norm's question.
So we're looking at planting red maples and a zelkova.
Nice.
4 zelkovas out here.
Very nice. And you mentioned no lighting.
Correct.
Was there ever a plan for lighting, or is there a plan for lighting, or it's going to be strictly daytime activities, daytime sports activities, and dance and every other activity that you can do, right?
Correct.
For those
Strictly
children.
daytime programming. Yep.
Okay, fantastic.
I just have a quick question. Can you hear me? Okay. The snacks, I mean, this is all pre-packaged stuff, right? Nothing's ever going to be made on site, Dave? Right?
That is correct. We don't plan on putting any fryers or anything in there. It would just be prepackaged, right? Correct. Keep it simple. Yep.
Mm.
And Dave, for the record, your department manages the field and schedules whatever events that are going to occur, and you maintain the field in terms of cleaning up after events, etc.
You are correct. So we have a memorandum of understanding with the Board of Ed that they handle the scheduling up until 4:30 every day because of the school in session, and then on weekends and from 4:30 on, then the scheduling becomes the Park and Rec responsibility.
Thank you.
Very good. Another curious question. How many miracle fields are there in Connecticut? Is there one other or two others? This
Yes,
will be the
there's
second
one.
or the third?
Right. This is the second one that was
Excellent.
completed. There are, Rocky Hill does have a fully accessible field, however, it's not a Miracle League field, so.
Okay. Where's
but
the
it
other
is-
field? Again, curious. Where's the other field?
There's Rocky Hill. So
Okay.
West
Oh, that's
Hartford,
the other
Rocky
one.
Hill, and then ours, right, correct.
Okay. All right. Great. Anyone from the commission have any questions?
Too late now.
Yeah. Any questions at the staff level, the bathroom, the construction of the bathroom, the
Mr. Chairman?
architecture? I'm sure it looks fine, right? Everything looks
Yeah,
fine?
it looks fine. It's appropriate and it's consistent with what's out there for other types of buildings that support other fields, etc. So we don't have any issues. Drainage has been signed off on by a town engineer, and we're satisfied. As previously stated, this is an ongoing project previously approved by the zoning commission, but we did have them come back for phase 2.
Right.
Just to ensure that the town leads by example when we're building things, et cetera, because they are required to be permitted as well. So we have no staff issues at all.
Right. Unless someone else on the commission has a question or comment, we will go to the public, but I want to give everybody one last opportunity. Does anyone have any comments or questions from the commission? Mr. Dwyer?
I'm curious, have you ever thought about a first aid station nearby?
Well, we would have one in the new restroom building. When we do have events there, I bring a first aid kit with me all the time. But once we have the storage building, the restroom building that'll have a storage area, we'll certainly have first aid supplies in there.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Question.
Anyone else? Questions? Let's go to public comment. Is there anyone here this evening from the public that wishes to speak in support of this or in opposition, for or against?
So I do still have 2 members of the public here.
Okay.
Susan, I know you were here for the other meeting that was continued to the next month, but did you have any comments that you wanted to make in regard to this application?
No, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
I can.
No.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. You guys, that park is beautiful and great job. Great job on it all. And no comments at all. I'm just looking forward to finding out a little bit more what their intentions are to use that building for.
Yep.
Well, thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job.
Thank you.
Very good.
Okay, and then I still have Grant's iPad. I'm not sure if that person is just listening or if they have a public comment.
Okay.
Um,
Well, presumably they can hear you, so if they had a public comment, they would chime in. Okay.
Yep.
We'll give them another few seconds. All right, and unless there are any further or additional comments from commission members, I will take a motion to close. I don't think we need to continue the public hearing. I think we would take a motion to close this public hearing.
So move to close.
Second.
Second, very good. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Raise their
Aye.
hands. I'm supposed to go around, right? It looks like it's unanimous. I see 6 hands. We're in good shape. Moving on to the regular meeting, item number 1, the application of Ted Harris has been continued to the February 4th meeting agenda. Item number 2, we're right back with the application of Jonathan Tunsky, Senior Landscape Architect, to design for Town of East Lyme Miracle League for the renovation of an existing play area and addition of a new bathroom storage building at 171 Boston Post Road, subject to section 5, 8, 24, and 25 of the East Lyme zoning regulations. Any final comments from any commission members, thoughts? Again, this is an incredible cause, and I know I'm proud. I think everyone on this commission is proud. I know people in town. Dave, the work you've done is incredible to bring this project to our town and to kind of take the lead on an issue like this for children with physical and cognitive challenges. I think it's so important to have a facility for those children to have the same opportunities that other children have. So I'll just say that. And with that, I'll take a motion.
Mr. Chairman, this is Kim Calajan.
Yes, Kim.
To approve the application as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have a second? Mr. Dwyer, or was it Ann Thurlow? Who had their hand up first? I'm not sure. It was close. We got to see the instant replay. All right, very good. Any last minute discussion? I don't think there is. All those in favor, let me go around the room, are going to signify by saying aye. Let me go right around. And we've got Kim K.
Aye.
Aye. We have Mr. Dwyer.
Aye.
We have Ann Thurlow.
Aye.
We have Denise Markovitz.
Aye.
Aye. We have Terry.
Aye.
And I am aye as well. And that means it's a unanimous approval, as it should be. And congratulations. And again, can't wait to see this project finished. Thank you to Dave, and thank you to Jonathan. Great job. Unbelievable project. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
Yep. And with that, we'll move ahead to the third item of our regular meeting, which is the 2021-2022 budget. These are the same budget figures that were proposed last year, I will note, with the addition of $500 for the part-time clerical line item to cover Jen's administrative participation as a technical moderator for the Zoom meetings, and God knows, you know, how much longer we're going to have to continue to do these. So time and immunizations will tell. We'll see what happens. But we do need that. All of the commissions in town are in need of that, and it makes sense to add this to the budget. So with that, any comment about our budget? Does everybody have a copy of the zoning commission budget? Any questions, any thoughts? Anyone?
I have a question.
Yes,
So I
Ann.
have a question. How much of the budget did we use last year and how much was left over?
We never have anything left over. We have one of the leanest budgets in town, and we
Yeah.
historically don't ask for much, and we get by with very little. I did want to add that our revenue sheet would show that we've took in about 45 to 50,000 last year. We typically do 25-ish, but we had a big year last year, and we're not generally known as a revenue producer. Our fee schedule we charge for many of our activities is consistent with what other towns are doing. So we're sort of right in the middle of the pack. And we've been comfortable with that. We review that from time to time. The approval of the commission is required because it's your budget. I'll just note that salary is established by the Board of Selectmen and Board of Finance. Our budget is really, longevity is part of the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen. Then our clerical, which we have here, we have professional conventions, sort of covers if I go to somewhere and there's a charge for it, I'm attending some type of seminar, or even if some members of the commission want to go somewhere, we'll kind of figure out how we do that. Consultants, as you look at that item, at one point I think we had a couple years ago about $4,000 that was consistently cut by the front office, and what was concluded is if we need to hire a consultant, then there would be special funding coming from the Board of Selectmen. And when we talk about that, you know, if we wanted to hire a traffic engineer or some type of specialist, we would do it that way. One of the reasons we had it in our budget at one time is, as you probably are aware, once we've decided we need a consultant, it's usually in the middle of a public hearing, and we have statutory timeframes that obligate us to complete a public hearing in 35 days. So when we had it in our budget, we could kind of pull that trigger pretty quickly, but there are very few consultants that are going to give us much of a report in 2 weeks. They typically want to take a lot of time. So it's a difficult system. Often, as you know, during hearings, we try to interview the applicant's engineers, et cetera, et cetera. And if we ask the right questions, we should be able to elicit certain things we may be looking for that might not be volunteered during the process by an applicant's engineering group. We also have access, obviously, to our town engineer and some of the other engineers that work for the town. Moving along, we'll put these back on. Printing miscellaneous supplies, etc. On page 2 is this description of what we look at and what we do. And our budget has been essentially consistent for years and years. Very seldom do we add to it. And with that said, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman, Bill, I have a question for you.
Sure.
I'm reading your layout here. Your 2021 adopted budget and your 2021 amended budget are the same.
Yeah,
So that's just a clerical thing here, I'm taking?
No, that's as directed by finance.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they've instructed us to, and they actually send us this sheet, and they put in most of the numbers. And so that's how they've set it up. They will adjust that once the Board of Finance and the Board of Selectmen act.
So then,
So if they made amendments, that's where you would see them, but they didn't make any amendments, so they just carry those. They carry
right,
those
so then
right
in
across.
the next column in your department head requested is where the additional numbers were added.
Right.
Well, that's where the additional 500 comes in, right?
Yep.
That's the additional 500, which I think we
Right.
all would agree. I don't want to speak for anybody, but I think we all would agree is a necessity.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
That's why, but
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
just
yeah.
confused on why the amended and the adopted are the same. I just doesn't,
Gotcha.
We were so instructed.
all
Right.
right, so
I'm
I'm
just
just
gonna
curious, is
insert.
there more amendments
There's-
on there other than the clerical?
The reason that it's there is because this is the same format that's used for every single department in the town.
And
So,
that's-
in some instances, the amended budget would be different than the adopted budget. For example, if a department has to hire a part-timer or another individual, and the Board of Finance appropriates money into the line item for the payroll for that person or whatever, then the amended budget is going to be different than the adopted budget.
Understood.
That would
Okay,
be an example. We don't have that situation in zoning, so.
okay. I was just double checking, that's all.
Very good. I think we're ready to take a motion unless anyone has any other questions or comments about the budget.
Mr. Chairman,
Obviously, Jen, we appreciate your efforts. You're doing a great job moderating these meetings, and it's a necessity, definitely a necessity. I don't think there's any way myself or any of us could do what you're doing in terms of just managing the meeting, exhibits, and everything that goes with that, while at the same time participating at the level we need to be able to participate, to be able to listen and learn and pay attention, and then make judgments. So thank you.
You're
It
welcome.
makes the meeting run much more smoothly.
right. Mr. Chairman, Terrence P. here. I would make a motion to approve the budget for
Budget.
2021, 2022.
Second.
Good. And we have a second, Mr. Dwyer.
Second.
And I'll just go around. All those in favor, Kim K. Aye. We have Ann Thurlow.
Aye.
Aye. We have Denise Markovitz. Aye. We have Bill Dwyer.
Aye.
Aye. We have Terry.
Aye.
And myself, aye. So the budget carries 600, pretty straightforward. Very good. So let's just move on to the approval of minutes of January 7th. We just need a motion on that. Does anyone need time to take a look at those minutes? Has everybody looked at those minutes? That's the one I missed, right? I was down in Florida. I missed that one. Yeah. So
It
I'm
does
gonna have
not say on here anywhere where I wore a tie, though.
Take that up with Brooke.
I will make a motion to approve, Terrence P. here, the minutes from January 7th, 2021.
And do we have a second?
Second.
Ah, boy, that was close. I'm going to give it to Ann. Denise, it was really close.
Okay, whatever.
Ann seconded it. All those in favor signify, or actually, I got to go around again. Kim K., were you at that meeting?
Yes,
Aye. Okay, Ann was an aye. Bill Dwyer was there, 3. Terry, 4. Denise, did you sit in, or did George sit in?
I
On
sat in for
January-
part of
They
it.
both did.
They both did. All right, very good. So that's 5, and I'm going to abstain, so
Oh, Terry has something. He's muted though.
go ahead, Terry.
You lost your volume again.
Uh-oh.
Jenny, you
So
can
5,
turn it down.
501 I have, right? 501. Okay.
Mhm.
Is he all right?
Somebody's
He's
saying
okay.
Jen.
That was the comment, that was karma for the tie comment, Terry.
That was. Moving right along, we do not have any old business. I see none in capital letters. And new business, we do have some new business. Item number 1 is the request of the town of East Lyme, Bill Shear, Director of Public Works, Agent for Coastal Area Management Review for property located at the end of Laurel Street for erosion mitigation and stabilization of an embankment. And we need to schedule that, or is there anything
will
further you want to
schedule
say
that.
about that, Mr.
I
Mulholland,
will
or no?
schedule that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll schedule that. And then off the floor, we have the application of Andrea Dallaire, owner, for a special permit under section 25 and 25.5 for the keeping of livestock and poultry, more than 6, at property located at 44 Cardinal Road on 16 plus acres, East Lyme Assessors Map 52.0, Lot 20. We need to schedule that.
Mr.
Is
Chairman?
that more than 6 poultry or more than 6 livestock, or any combination of the
6
above?
More than 6 chickens.
Chickens, okay.
Mr. Chairman, I have one item. I received a call from Norm today, and as many of you know, he has some family issues, and that's why he's not here this evening. But one of the things he asked that I asked the commission to put forward to public hearing the FEMA amendment that we had subcommitteed on and we had talked about. I've done some research, and I haven't had an opportunity to type it up yet, but it'll only take a half an hour. There's 2 places in the zoning regulations that I have to adjust from 10-year to 2-year, and that's what I think we would like to put the public hearing. And so if we could move that forward, if the commission agrees, we would schedule that for March 4th.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Does everybody recall discussions about that? And Bill, maybe just a quick recap or refresh on that. That language that's in there now more or less discourages people from improving their properties, and the idea is to amend that so that there's language that encourages people to improve their properties. That's maybe a layman's way of saying it.
Exactly. As a refresher, we're talking about amending the substantial improvement section. That section, if you're in a flood zone, if you want to improve your home and make certain improvements, you are only allowed to improve it up to 50% of the cash value or the market value of just the building over a 10-year period. Because FEMA wants to encourage, FEMA is looking to encourage us to tear these down and elevate them. And some of these older homes you may have inherited. They're very expensive, and when somebody comes in, they usually want to do kitchens and bathrooms and immediately, and they're very expensive today. So what has essentially happened is a lot of these buildings aren't moving real estate wise because they need to be jacked up, and FEMA's goal is to jack them up. But also they recognize with the 50% rule that you have a right to maintain your property over time, and not everybody's going to be in a position to jack up a home. And you get into flood insurance, etc. So what's occurred is that we're seeing other towns do the same thing. As you may know, I consult the NOANC on Tuesday evenings for a couple hours, and we are also going to change our 10-year rule to 2 or 3. Stonington has gone to 1 year. Waterford, I think, went to 2 or 3. So we're seeing it all up and down the coast because what it really does, it allows some of these homes to be maintained that are on the coast that have that old architecture. And not everybody that has waterfront property has the wherewithal to be jacking up a house and spending that money financially. So the thought was to allow a little more flexibility to kind of maintain the integrity of the character of some of these beach areas. Instead of putting everything up on piers, it allows people to maintain their homes. So that's essentially the background.
Great. How long have we had that language in there? Has that been in there for decades, or is that approximately? I'm just curious.
Yeah, maybe 10 years.
Oh, only 10 years? Okay.
Yeah, FEMA came back to see us, and about 10 years ago, they required us to modify our existing regulations, and they provided a menu. And in that menu, there was mandatory regulation, and then there was some additional, thank you, where was I? I got lost. I just got past the note. Lost that train of thought with my...
That's okay. I think you gave us a pretty good overview.
I support it from a staff perspective. I did not originally, but after FEMA came in, and we've had this 10-year rule in place, it really is prohibiting people from maintaining their property and improving it. If you put in windows today and need to replace the windows in a home, and you need to do 20, you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars.
Big money. Yep. All right.
And never mind siding and the normal maintenance.
Right. Moving on to any business on the floor, if any by the majority vote of the commission, does anybody have anything that they wish to add, share?
Mr. Chairman, very important. I've been deemed Terry's voice. So he would like, he would like to suggest that we as a commission send Norm a card to express our condolences.
Absolutely. Think it's a great idea. Think it's a great idea.
Sign it. I'm not sure physically how we accomplish that unless we just scan in our signatures, but I think it's a very nice thing to do.
Terry said he will travel.
Terry will arrange and travel, and Jen and I will help where we can.
I wonder if everybody could stop in to Bill's office in the next day or two and sign a card. We could stick it in the mail. Is that something that would be, I mean, I can do that. I have the ability to do that. Does everybody have the ability to do that?
Right.
Okay.
Or even swing by and Jen or I can bring the card out to the outside and just sign it
Perfect.
real quick.
Just a nice little mass card or whatever you want to call it. Just, yeah,
Yeah,
be nice.
we'll need someone to choose a card.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Norm has been on this commission for over 20 years. I think he deserves more than just a little card. That's my opinion.
Do we know anything about services?
Not yet.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I mean,
During COVID, that they don't happen.
I know.
certainly I'd be willing to do whatever we're willing to do as a group for Norm and his family and
This may be an opportunity to bring this up, Mr. Chairman. There's been talk about some kind of fund in memory of Norm's mother, and I think we'll hear more about that, and maybe that's something that the commission may choose to be involved in to some degree, collectively or individually. And I think once we know more, Mr. Chairman, we could probably have you send an email, or I or Jen out to the commission to be informative, and then we can kind of collectively make a decision. And I think that might be Kim going down that line. I don't disagree with you. And Bill, I think he's been on for 30 years. I think it's
Wow.
32.
wow.
Yeah, his father was there before him.
Yeah.
I think his father was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And no, I don't remember that.
No, I'll give $100 if we're going to have a fund.
We'll all donate whatever we feel comfortable donating. I think that's a great idea. I'm sure everybody would be on board with that. We all think highly of Norm and want to do what we can to help Norm and his family through this time. I mean, it's a heavy burden when you lose your mother. I've gone through it a few years ago, so just wishing him the best, and he's in my thoughts and prayers. I know he's in everybody's thoughts, so appreciate that.
Just send us all an email and let us know what we can do.
That's what we'll do. I'll talk to Bill first thing in the morning, and we'll get ourselves organized. We'll get a card and let people know that the card is there at the town hall to come in and sign. Tomorrow's Friday. I mean, it would be nice if we could all get in there at some point tomorrow, even by the end of the day tomorrow, get this card right out. But if it was Monday, that'd be fine. Between tomorrow and Monday, if we can get that organized and get it in the mail to Norm's family, that would be excellent. Thank you. Great suggestions, everybody. Moving on to the zoning official.
I'll just point out we're busy, a lot of projects. I've got more projects coming, so we are working through those. Matt's aware of some of them. I've got the one we talked that didn't come on tonight. I've got something going on at exit 75. I think you'll all like what you see. It will be coming forward to the commission should they continue down the development process. The building, I think, is going to be attractive, and you know, given that money's cheap to borrow right now, there's a lot of redevelopment interest. I also understand that the exit 75 project may start moving forward. DOT's already been out in that area cutting some trees down in anticipation of, which I was surprised by. So we continue to be busy here in the office. The commission to date, I don't have a lot for you. This may be an opportunity to do a little housekeeping, we shall see. Famous last words, Monday probably 5 guys will show up with big development applications. But we are busy, building's busy, everybody's busy. And then I think you all do know that the Wetlands Commission passed a new 300-foot buffer up from 100. It has been litigated, but nonetheless, at this point, that is a law. And so it'll probably affect a lot of redevelopment in town. It may prohibit some. It may slow it down. So that's a very contentious subject. You've probably heard bits and pieces. They are headed into court. My understanding is that there's a group that's going to look for an injunction. We'll see how that goes. With that said, that's about as much as I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Mulholland. Comments from ex officio? Did Roseanne, is Roseanne here with us? She's not tonight. Okay. Comments from zoning board, liaison to planning, Mr. Dwyer on January 12th.
I went there and actually all I'm going to do is repeat what the minutes are, which can get on the computer. But it was interesting.
Excuse me.
One thing the interesting thing was on their new business, when they go to approve some date before it comes before them, it goes off into March and April. Because Ledge Light, they go to Ledge Light first, and they're involved with them. And Ledge Light is backed up for months. And that's why planning gets, the planning department gets so backed up. It's like, what are they doing in March and April? It isn't their fault. It's
They're waiting on Ledge Light.
The other department is all backed up. Outside that, I can just repeat the minutes if that's what you want. But you can get on, anybody can be on and just read the minutes. But it was interesting about, they denied the text amendment we had from Landmark. They also denied that text amendment.
Okay.
And it seems quite a few other things, which we did first, and they're just following up. But that's about it.
Appreciate it.
No controversial objects.
Appreciate it, Bill. Thanks for going. Much appreciated.
One more. They'll start looking for volunteers for the fire chief. The town wants to get a fire chief, you know, combine everything, and they're looking for volunteers on that committee. And that's it.
All right. Very good. And Terry, you're on deck. You're up next. You're in the batter's box on February 9th for the next meeting. Comments from chairman. I really don't have anything tonight. Short meeting, smooth. Thinking of Norm, I think we all are, with the loss of his mother. And we'll get ourselves organized and make sure we rally around him and wait to find out what the plans are in terms of services and everything. So, you know, Norm is in our thoughts. So with that, I'll take a motion to close, to adjourn tonight's meeting.
I think Terry's trying to make a motion.
We'll let him have it.
All right,
Do
Jim,
we have
you can let him talk now.
Do we have a second to adjourn?
Second.
Mr. Dwyer, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Everybody's hands are up. All right. Great job, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.